Hey there, it's Apostle Dewan with GICMP. Are you still trying to figure out your prophetic mantle and still trying to piece together what you see versus what you say? And are you still even fearful because of what people said in the past regarding your prophetic mantle, what you can be, what you can't be, and what God will and won't do in your life? If that's you and you know it's time to go deeper in the prophetic, I want you to enroll in our College of the Prophets. Yes, it's a College of Prophets geared towards giving you a higher education of learning what it really means to be a prophet of God, a kingdom prophet, not a psychic, not a medium, but a prophet of God. If you know that you know that you know God operates in you in the supernatural realm, you have dreams, you have visions, you are even called upon to heal others, but you still need a better understanding and a better foundation so that you can eventually be affirmed as a prophet of God, I want you to join us for the GICMP College of Prophets. Enroll today.
My decision to link up with GICMP opened the door to Life Center and Buddy and Mary Crum at Life Center, and Prophetess Catherine Sykes, and Dr. Matthew Stevenson, and Dr. Paula Price. And none of these people, I would have heard of none of these people had it not been for GICMP. I didn't know any of these people before that. John Eckhart, obviously. And so my prophetic hunger began to awaken to the point that I was buying books. I was seeking God like never before. I was going to 5 a.m. prayers all over the place because I really just wanted more of what God had to offer concerning the prophetic. I wanted to understand. I wanted to know. And so once I came into agreement, that's another thing that you learn in the College of the Prophets, or even the School of the Prophets, or anything, is the power of your agreement to it. Your agreement opens up not just understanding, but opportunities to learn and to partake more of what God has called you to do.
And for 17 years, I had to try to figure this thing out. I knew that I was called. I knew God said prophet. I knew the Lord even showed me being ordained, but no one here where I am ordains prophets. It's not something that is common or even something that I've ever seen to this day. But when God called me, I knew he said prophet. And as a matter of fact, I was licensed a missionary several years ago, and even about 3 years ago, I was at another ministry different from the one that I am in now. And the pastor, during the middle of the service, happened to pull me aside in front of the church, anointed me with oil, and pronounced me prophet of that house. And even after that, I said, I know there's more. I know I can prophesy. I know I dream dreams. I know I can pick up on things in the spirit. But God, I know there's more. There's more to what I've read in books. There's more to what I've searched out online. And I even tried to meet with my pastor at the time to find out what exactly that meant for that house. And the search just began, and the Lord allowed me to find Apostle Dewan on Facebook. And I began to just watch her lives, watch her videos, and I decided to become a part of the mentorship first. And then after watching, I knew that I thought she was credible. I believed in the research and information, the things that she was showing. So I decided to obey what I knew God was saying to me years ago, and that was that I was to be ordained a prophet. And I had to obey the call of God on my life.
Hey there, it's Dewan Holmes. I'm the founder of the Global Institute of Church and Marketplace Prophets, and this is the time that I'm going to use to tell you more about our College of the Prophets, College of Apostles, and our School of the Prophets, so that you can make sure you're making the right decision. So you are in the right place if you know you're called to the prophetic and you need more training. You are in the right place if you've dreamed about being affirmed, but you just didn't know how to get affirmed or whether or not that was even a possibility. You're in the right place if you're an apostolic prophet who is saying, oh my goodness, I think I'm transitioning to the apostleship. You're in the right place if you're a pastor transitioning to apostleship. You are in the right place if you just know that you know that you know you need a deeper understanding and you need more education as it relates to prophetic ministry and even affirmation. All right. So what we do now is we really just give you a bird's eye view of what happens during College of the Prophets, College of Apostles, and the School of the Prophets so that you can make the best decision for you and your life journey right now. All right. This is not for everyone. This is not for you if you don't want to invest any money. If you don't want to invest any money, just go somewhere else right now. This is not for you. This is not for you. You can laugh too. It's the truth. This is not for you if you don't want to study. All right. If you just do not want to study and you don't want to do homework, you don't feel like you should need to do homework, this is not the training for you. Okay. This is not for you if you know everything. If you already know and think that you know everything, this is not the right place for you. All right. This is for you if you're open and you have the desire to learn more, to be more in God. This is also for you if you're, willing to invest in yourself, just as if you were in a different industry or on the job where sometimes you have to go on the job training and you invest. That's who this is for. All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty. Number one, what's the College of the Prophets? And then also, how is that different from the School of the Prophets? And what does all that mean? Let me first tell you this. When we first started affirming people years ago, we made everybody kind of go through the School of the Prophets. But as we have built, I've recognized that there's a lower amount of information or less information that comes with the School of the Prophets that doesn't necessarily come with the College of Prophets. So we have transitioned, and if you're coming forth for affirmation and even potentially in that certificate area, the College of Prophets is really college level teaching that requires college level commitment. All right. And the College of the Prophets is also based on the Bible, but here's what we do. We teach you about the basics of prophetics and all the way to the in-depth part of prophetics. So the foundation and some of our prerequisites are our boot camps. We have boot camps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boot camps 1 through 8. But then also our School of Prophetic Intercession. Yes, that's fine. Our School of Prophetic Intercession, just in case you hear something going. Hallelujah. Our School of Prophetic Intercession is also one of our prerequisites, but you have to take that in order to get to the next level. We then also have within the College of Prophets, the School of Church Prophets, the School of Marketplace Prophets, and we have several versions of that. We also have the School of Prophetic Homiletics. That's the art of prophetic preaching. What does that look like? And then we have different levels of those School of the Prophets within the College of the Prophets, so that when you go from A to Z, not only will you have a foundation and an understanding, but you will really know that you know that you know that you're called for this thing, that you're assigned for this thing, and that you will begin to manifest fruit, okay? So again, the College of Prophets is regimented learning, systematic learning regarding your prophetic ministry, and then what it looks like when you are a prophet called to the church versus one who's called to the marketplace. So from that perspective, we have split up the College of the Prophets so that it can also have one for College of Marketplace Prophets, because there are some people who are called outside of the church and you need to be taught from that perspective, all right? So if you decide, hey, I want to be in the College of Prophets, I want to take this thing, all of a sudden, after you take those prerequisite courses, then you have to make a decision, and we can help you make that decision, on whether or not you need to go down the route of the College of or School of Church Prophets or kind of the School of Marketplace Prophets. All right? Makes sense? It should make sense. All right. So from there, excuse me, the next question then is, let me say this. Now, here in Jacksonville at Global Prophetic Life, we have the Jacksonville School of the Prophets. That's basic prophetic teaching, and it's really more for outreach. Going through the Jacksonville School of the Prophets is not going to cause you I don't think, to walk in the highest level of your prophetic potential, all right? That's really what we do as outreach to the Jacksonville community, but also for our covenant members who are here in Jacksonville with us who maybe have a prophetic calling or they want to kind of explore that. That's kind of the first level of that, and it's every single first Sunday of the month, and it's just $99. That's going to be a question. How much does it cost? How much does it cost? The School of the Prophets for Jacksonville is just $99. You show up, it's 45 minutes, 15-minute Q&A, and it's done. Done. All right, and there's a private area. The College of the Prophets and the School of the Prophets and all those, let me explain this to you. There's a lot of teaching that goes into there. So you're going to have probably, a few hours of study every week. We also meet once a month with you for your mentorship session. That's typically the first Wednesday of the month, where you'll have your own mentor who meets with you guys as a group. That's where you do your Q&A, but that mentor who's actually been through the College of the Prophets will also mentor you in the ups and downs of what it looks like. But you're going to have to set aside several hours during the week to pass the College of the Prophets if you really want to see the fruits of your labor, all right? That's just, it is what it is. All right, so next, here's another question. What is the College of Apostles? The College of Apostles is what we're just starting with. I've been mentoring people in that and been doing kind of one-on-ones with folks called to apostleship over the years. But this year, we've decided to do the College of Apostles, which is 6 months long, all right? Sidebar, how long will it take? 6 months long is the College of Apostles for this particular program, okay? The College of Prophets and Marketplace Prophets, how long does that take? Anywhere from 2 to 4 years. What? It's just kind of like you're going to college. Now, we do require that you take the PAQ, which is the prophetic, what is it? The prophetic, it used to be called prophetic assessment questionnaire. That's by Dr. Paula Price. It really tells us where you are in the prophetic, and it allows us to kind of plan a program just for you. And it really tells us if you're more of an apostolic prophet, if you're more of a literary prophet, all of those kind of things. So that's a prerequisite as well once you get in there. Okay, I'm looking at all the questions. So what's the College of Apostles? That's what that is. And it's really because there are a lot of budding apostles who need help. You really need to understand what it means to be an apostle, what it doesn't mean. You need to be able to understand the difference between being apostolic and actually walking in apostleship. There's a huge difference, and sometimes people don't know the difference. And you think you're an apostle, and really sometimes you're not. Or you think you're a prophet, and really sometimes you're not. So this helps you get through all of that. All right, let's get to these specific questions now. How much does it cost? How much does it cost? Any of our College of Apostles, it's always going to be $199 per month. You can always remember that. It's going to be $199 per month, all right, typically. And so that means it's $199 per month for 6 months. Or we have sometimes some specials. We do have some scholarships as well. For the College of the Prophets, it's typically $199 for at least 12 months. And depending on which direction you go, it may be scaled down. If you're just auditing everything and you're just doing a certificate course or what have you, and you just want to listen, that's going to typically be about $99. It'll be anywhere from $79 to $99. Okay, if you're a covenant member of GPL, a covenant member of GICMP, you get benefits. So you get benefits. Just come to me and ask me what your benefits are. Okay, let me stay focused. I was going to say something. Hallelujah. All right. So you understand what it costs? What it costs. $199 per month is typically what it's going to cost you. Sometimes we have specials that are buy one, get one, but you may or may not get that. The School of the Prophets, if it's just that simple thing, it's $99 for the whole year, or it's going to be $49 per month for a couple things, all right? Also, the certificate, course, which is auditing. Again, that's anywhere from 79 to 99. Just keep looking on your screen. Okay. Will I get a certificate? Maybe. It depends on if you do the work. We don't just give certificates just because you're in the class. You have to do the work, and it has to be proven that you've done the work. All right. Will I get ordained? Maybe. The Bible tells us to lay hands on no man suddenly. So this isn't about ordaining you. This is about training you for service. If you have a pastor, we will work collectively with your pastor as well. If you have a prophetic team, you can bring the whole team through. But what we typically do is we get together in September for prophetic ordination, and that is when we affirm those who have gone through the system and have clearly manifested as a prophet. If God tells me to affirm somebody, that's what I'm going to do. But just going through our College of the Apostles, College of Prophets, does not mean that I'm about to lay hands on you suddenly. That's not going to happen. Will you walk through the process, and is there a possibility that you'll get affirmed, a possibility that you'll have hands laid on? Yes, but you got to go through the system and do everything, all right? Of course, we do hear God. But again, all of that is maybe. How long does it take? Again, for the College of Prophets, generally 2 to 4 years. But again, there's sometimes God will say, no, I need you to lay hands on them right now, or even after a year. It happens sometimes. That's when I'm hearing God. Are you accredited? No, not yet. That's on the list. We're working through some things. Trying to think if there's anything else out there. I'm going to pause to kind of look in the audience to see if there's any other questions that's coming up that they may want me to answer, and then I'll make a decision on if I will answer. Now, or you can also email me if you need to. Email wecare@globalpropheticinstitute.com. Oh my goodness, we got to talk about when it starts as well. And then there was one more question that popped up. When does it start? Okay. So open enrollment is taking place right now. And typically right now, we will keep things open all of, what month are we in? October. So typically October through December, you can register. And then once you come in, much of it is on demand. Most of it is on demand. You have platform, you have a student portal, you log in. But then again, remember, it's the mentorship sessions that once a month that you got to get on, that you'll get help. This year, well, gosh, we've had so many people do it. We're 2020 now, so we transition about every 2 years. So this year it's Andrea Peel Roberts, and then I'm also in there with you some as well. And there was one more question. I'm thinking. What was it? We've talked about how long it takes. Oh, let me say this. You know how when you get a master's and you have to do a thesis? Okay, so you do have to do something kind of like that before we lay hands. And this is like when it's time for you to really be affirmed and ordained, because it's just to prove your mantle. Because see, there's one thing about, let me do my sidebar. There's one thing about prophets. Prophets should be able to create something from nothing. All right? So we like to see, what are you creating from nothing? What have you built? What are you trying to do? Now, as it relates to apostles, it's the same thing as well, except it's even more so, because you should have evidence right now of that apostleship mantle upon your life. All right, so that was the main thing. That you will have to show paper and put some things together. I think that's it. How long have we been talking? Oh, very good. So now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you some time, and I'm going to play some interviews from some of the people who have gone through our program. Take your time and listen up. And after that, we'll be right back, and then it'll be time for you to register. But here's what I want you to do. If you know this is for you, if you know that it sounds like something you've been praying for, waiting for, and longing to do, I want you to stop being afraid, don't fear, and go ahead and register today. All right? There's information on the screen. If there are scholarships available, you'll see it on the screen. If there are no scholarships available, you won't see it on the screen. You won't see it on the website. So look up, look down, and see what it says. You can also go to the bottom to the other frequently asked questions section to see if there is anything else you need. Again, you can email me at wecare@globalpropheticinstitute.com. Again, wecare@globalpropheticinstitute.com. All right, check this out.
Well, I can say that the deciding factor for me to join the ordination track at GICMP was the result of a chain of events that confirmed for me that GICMP was where I needed to be. So it started with me moving to a whole new city, and after being in the new city with my new pastor, who is a prophet, for a couple of years, while going through the process, my training process, the prophet decided to close the doors of the church. So shortly after this occurred, I had a conversation with him, and he shared with me that although I had went through some training courses with him, and he had been walking me one-on-one through the prophetic, that he felt like I didn't get everything that I needed from him during that time and that process. So his recommendation to me was to seek formal training and guidance in the prophetic and in the protocols of the prophetic. His insight was confirmation to me to move forward on the ordination track. You see, I had been following Apostle Dewan since 2016, and I had already taken several of the classes that she offers, but his insight into what God was doing with me was the final motivating factor that pushed me to officially jump on the ordination track. What did I like most about the GICMP ordination track? Well, I have to say that I have thoroughly enjoyed the Saturday interactive sessions with Apostle Dewan, where you are able to participate and prophesy. Your mantle is pulled on these calls, and it also allows you an opportunity to interact one-on-one with her and the other prophets at GICMP and ask questions that you may have.
What was the turning point for me when I registered for GICMP ordination track? Well, I'm just going to be honest. It was when I got around higher level prophets, and I saw how low level I was. Yeah, I was within my. They might have didn't know that, but I knew. I felt embarrassed because all these years, like, there was a missing link to my life, and I knew I needed more. As a matter of fact, I was consecrating to the office of the prophet back in 2013. Been doing conferences and retreats, but I never got ordained, and I would never allow myself to be ordained because I believe the Holy Spirit was telling me this is not it, this is not it. But because it wasn't it, I felt empty, and I had been searching. And throughout that search, my life was going in cycles. I mean, I had been changing state. I moved to a different state. I was here, there. It is because I was trying to figure out, God, what do you want me to do? Because right now, these people, they don't receive me. You know, my close friends do, but it was a struggle for me. And so when I got around when I got around my covenant brothers and sisters who were high-level prophets, and I said, you know what, God? I literally had to look at my past, my present, and compare it to my future. And I knew within myself, it wasn't about comparing myself to them. It was about comparing myself to myself, comparing who I am to who God wants me to become. And I needed to be a part of that ordination track, because it's the ordination track that helps me to learn more about the prophetic. Now, I've been to seminary, and of course that teaches you a lot about the Bible and ABC and theology, but God was still holding me accountable. after I graduated in 2016 from VUU, the Samuel D. Proctor School of Theology, you know, I'm not discrediting it because it helped me. But I had to answer to who God created me to be, and that was a prophet. I can preach a sermon with 3 points in 5 minutes, maybe less, but God was still holding me accountable. And I knew that part of me growing into that person God needed me to be was connecting with the covering God placed in my life. And that has been GICMP under the founder, Apostle and Prophet Dewan Holmes. And I've been blessed ever since. As a matter of fact, the best part about the prophetic experience with GICMP is my covenant brothers and sisters. Like, they're so transparent, and they have those moments where they share with you their walk, their journey, and in your mind you was like, and yet I thought I was the only one. I was like Elijah, the only one, isolated, in my cave, being a lone ranger. And here it is, I have other people going through the same thing. No, you don't want your sister and brothers going through the same thing, but it just felt good to know that I wasn't crazy as other people thought I was. Don't ignore the call of God on your life. Don't ignore the pull, the push. You're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to have it. And sometimes we pull away because we want to know why this, why that, and that was my hindrance.
What I liked most about my ordination experience was the accountability, the mentoring. Our mentor Prophet Kelly, is amazing. She has a way of just challenging you to really look in the mirror of your soul. And our advisor, Dr. Prophet Marilyn, oh my God, she walked me through my process of writing my prophetic portfolio thesis, guys. This experience was amazing because it ended up almost being like, probably it's going to be a book of mine one day, but it really allowed me to pull apart my entire life and to be able to show how I'm a prophet outside of prophecy, okay? Because there is so much more to being a prophet than prophesying. I also enjoyed the brotherhood and the sisterhood that I developed with those that were on the track with me.
But taking the different courses helped to give me understanding about my prophetic makeup, what God had called me to do, and how that's going to look in this season, the season that I was in and beyond. It was an ongoing process, both in the classroom and in real life, because the reality is the Holy Spirit never stops teaching. And it was indeed, I want to say, priceless. It had peaks, it had valleys, it had multiple dimensions to it. If that makes if that makes sense. There's not one word that can pretty much define everything that you're going to get. It exceeded my expectations tremendously. One of the first classes that we had was about understanding the prophetic life and not to get shaken in the shaking. So the things that we were getting were also very prophetic in what we were also experiencing at that time by making the decision and the warfare that comes along with making that decision. The enemy does not want you to know who you are. The enemy does not want you to fulfill the purpose that is on your life. The enemy does not want you to get to your expected end. The enemy wants to pervert your lenses and cause you to see what prophets do from a very carnal and limited perspective. But if you want to expand that perspective, it's necessary for you to get education, increase your language in order to increase your understanding. And so it's immeasurable what I was able to get out of it. And it opened the door to so much more.
Wow. Wasn't that awesome? Yes, I know it is. And I'm honored that so many prophets have gone through our ordination track. So many have gone through our certificate track. And if you need more background information on GICMP, I want you to scroll down some more and look at our foundational video that just talks about the backdrop of GICMP, which again is the Global Institute of Church and Marketplace Prophets. All of our courses, all of our training tracks are done through GICMP. I founded it back in 2010. We had been working since about 2008 or so. But again, just want to tell you that everything is done through GICMP. It's recognized through the state of Florida as well as an educational institute. But again, it's through GICMP, Global Institute of Church and Marketplace Prophets. God bless you, and I look forward to instructing you. I look forward to mentoring you. I look forward to seeing how God is going to manifest his hand on your life. God bless. Hey there, it's Apostle Dewan with GICMP. Are you still trying to figure out your prophetic mantle and still trying to piece together what you see versus what you say? And are you still even fearful because of what people said in the past? Hey there, it's Apostle Dewan with GICMP. Are you still trying to figure out your prophetic mantle and still trying to piece together what you see versus what you say? And are you still even fearful because of what people said in the past regarding your prophetic mantle, what you can be, what you can't be, and what God will and won't do in your life? If that's you and you know it's time to go deeper in the prophetic, I want you to enroll in our College of the Prophets. Yes, it's a College of Prophets geared towards giving you a higher education of learning what it really means to be a prophet of God, a kingdom prophet, not a psychic, not a medium, but a prophet of God. If you know that you know that you know God operates in you in the supernatural realm, you have dreams, you have visions, you are even called upon to heal others, but you still need a better understanding and a better foundation so that you can eventually be affirmed as a prophet of God, I want you to join us for the GICMP College of Prophets. Enroll today.